What's good, everybody? This episode of the podcast is sponsored by DistroKid. They are the go-to for digital music distribution and the easiest way for musicians to get your music onto Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, TikTok, YouTube, and more. They offer unlimited uploads, and artists keep 100% of their earnings in stores 10 to 20 times faster than any other distributor. Fastest payouts. They help out with automatic splits, cover song clearance, and all kinds of other amazing tools and templates to help you get the most visibility for your releases. I dig this company and appreciate their business model that offers more features than any other distributor at the most affordable price possible for solo musicians, bands, DJs, studio artists, and any other creators that are producing music in their home, and they also offer label services as well. They've got 3 different tiers to offer creators that start as low as $22.99 a year. That's just $1.92 a month, and even their top tier is just $7.50 per month. And the best part about DistroKid sponsoring the podcast is that they are offering Dan Cable Presents listeners and viewers 30% off your first year of membership with DistroKid, making their already affordable prices even cheaper for you. Check out the link in the episode notes. I will also put it in my Instagram bio in the link tree. That link will give you 30% off that first year of service. Super stoked to have DistroKid sponsoring the podcast and cannot thank them enough for their long time support of this thing. This episode of the podcast is also sponsored by Puff Coffee. Puff is one of my favorite coffee shops in Portland, Oregon. They've got a location off 28th and Stark in Southeast. Their coffee is delicious, and everyone that works there is always super friendly. I had the pleasure of staying in their neighborhood for a month or so, and it was just a real treat to have this as my neighborhood coffee shop for a bit. And now I find myself going out of my way to get over there and get some coffee. Puff Coffee was started by the founder of Stumptown Coffee, and they are making small batch coffee roasted daily here in Portland. Their mission to find, roast, and deliver the most delicious coffees anywhere. Their small batch process means that they get to keep things interesting with experimental blends and single origin gems while always keeping the classics on deck. They've got a variety of beans to choose from, and if you're not in the Portland area, you can order their small batch coffee straight to your home through their website, and you can use the coupon code DANCABLE, all one word, for 20% off a coffee subscription. Links for Puff Coffee will be in the episode notes. Big thanks to Puff for supporting the show and for their amazing small batch coffee. Now let's get into the episode.
Look down at the
What is happening, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Dan Cable Presents podcast. Thank you for tuning into the program once again. If this is your first time listening, thanks for checking out the show. You can find fresh episodes coming at you every Tuesday. And if you want to help support this thing in a free way, you can do so by clicking subscribe on iTunes, clicking write a review, giving the podcast 5 stars where you feel like it is deserving of so, and that will help propel this thing into the tops of those iTunes charts, giving them more visibility on the national and international levels, helping strangers find the podcast. Just a great way to contribute to the growth and sustainability of this thing. Appreciate the hell out of all the folks that have already taken the time to do so. If you're not listening on Apple, just hit like, follow, subscribe wherever you are listening from. Tell a friend about the podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, hit subscribe there. Listen on Spotify, give it a rating, and check out the monthly playlist that I've been dropping every first of the month. Pretty spread out genre-wise, 40 tracks every month, and just a snapshot of what I'm listening to throughout the month. Hope everybody is doing well out there. Stoked to get into episode 422 of the podcast with Woodburn, Oregon-based rapper Dobleon is on the podcast this week. Really talented dude coming up in the Portland music scene. He's been on my radar for the last year and a half or so, and every time I see him perform live, it just gets sharper and sharper. And if you're new to his music, there's a bunch of stuff to check out wherever you stream music, including his newest solo record that he recently put out called Locura, and we talk about that record in this chat, as well as where he is from in Woodburn, Oregon. And he's also got another new record that just dropped, which is a collaboration project with former guests of the podcast, Corey B. and Eric Boderick, called Buen Provecho. And that one just dropped a few days ago. Go check that record out as well. Eric Boderick is the one who put me on to Dobleon. And if you enjoy this chat and you enjoy the music, I encourage you to give Dobleon a follow. Definitely check out one of his live shows next time he's coming up to Portland, or if he's coming to a city near you. Always a killer performance. His dude Cabana was also in the room. He's the guy who has kind of produced most of the music that has come out thus far in the Dobleon catalog. So it was nice to have him in the room, and just really enjoyed this chat. It was a fun one with Dobleon, and really enjoyed getting to know him a bit, and just comes across as this really mature dude for only being 23 years old. And yeah, I think you will hear some of that in this conversation. And with all that, we are going to get into episode 422 of this thing. All the links will be in the episode notes so you can keep up with Dobleon. And to kick things off, we're going to play a track from that most recent solo record, Locura. Definitely check that one out. So many good jams on it. And you'll hear some of that throughout this conversation. But this one is called La Pulgue. It features another Portland rapper, Sage Wally. So check out the full version wherever you stream music. And we're going to get into it. Let's do the damn thing.
Dobleon, baby. You can run, but you can't hide. I'm like, please, baby, give me some time. Word. Hey, yo, who just stepped inside the room? It's me, the one that's the OBLE. If you know me by the way that I'm playing this liberty, call me 22. I know for smacking new millennials, the way that I be rapping, I swear to God that they ain't moving. I might be grooving, but that's not me. I'm at the Pulga with the chopped cheese, cause I forgot to cop greens. Oh, baby, what you doing to me? I huff powder off the muffins, now I'm doing the G. Screwing in jeans, I'm fly, but I'm not that damn. I'm the reason why they rapping with that goddamn sound, but it's not it. It's props, it's highly obnoxious. I be unconscious, fight for my mom shit.
Yo, sounds good, bro.
The time to spend the Benji or the yardstick. I move crazy, probably lower than some dark piss cigar sticks. Up inside of my clothes, had to spray the O's.
Looking good. We're on the camera. We out here,
Ready for
fucking legs.
Legs,
You know what
dude.
I mean?
Shorts.
Mad calves. Like, that's all that's all we're promoting today. Just healthy calves.
Just healthy calves. Stoked to have you here, man.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
I can't be for certain like what year it was anymore, but I think it was a Corey B album release show that you performed also at Mississippi Pizza, Atlantis Lounge. It was either like a Corey B album release or
think it
like
was the
one of
Bloom.
Eric's. Yeah, it might have been Bloom,
Yeah.
but I feel like I maybe like saw you a couple times there.
Yeah,
And-
this saw me probably a good amount of times there. Because I do remember the Bloom one, but I might have been there to the one that they had. They had like a album that they had before Bloom came out.
Yeah,
I'm not
absolutely.
mistaken.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think that was like Corey's record that Eric did most of the beats for. But yeah, Eric Boderick, Corey B, I feel like that camp of people is like what put me onto Dobleon.
Oh, that's
and
what's
like
up.
getting to see you for the first time.
That's what's up. Hell yeah.
And one of the things that I appreciate about you is that every time I've seen you, I feel like it's pretty sharp, man. Like, like
Hey, man.
it feels like it you're one of those people that I think like makes it look pretty effortless, but in the best of ways, you know, not in a way like you make it seem effortless in a way that makes me feel like you've put some time into the craft of becoming a rapper, and like it seems like you want it to look that way as well. And like it just seems like, I don't know, that was probably like almost 2 years ago that I saw you the first time.
That's fire.
And just seeing you at the other last week on that lineup, I just feel like every time I see you, it's like, damn, and he's even getting better. And he's getting better. So yeah,
I appreciate that a lot, bro.
Yeah,
it's crazy. 2 years ago, yeah, man. I would say that last show you saw me at was probably like my favorite one.
Yeah,
you know, just fucking that accordion. I'm never gonna not have it now. Like ever since I got my accordion, it's over. You know what I mean? Like it's done. But yeah, bro, I have put some time into this. I will say that. Been rapping since I was like 15.
Yeah.
So I started releasing music like at 16. I'm 23 right now, so yeah, for a little minute, but
that's amazing that you put that much time into it already at 23, man. Like it feels very seasoned, you know.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
You know, the chicken is seasoned. But yeah, I mean, emotionally and mentally, like I'm fucking 36, bro. You know what I mean?
What is that? Where does that come from? Like what has aged you mentally so quickly, do you think?
Probably just pain and like money. Like, I don't know, just working, you know, you work so much and it's like this balance. I'm sure you know that balance of like doing art and working, and you find pockets where you can shine with the arts, and then you gotta come back to make money.
Yeah.
Me at least is like, I love doing this shit more than anything, you know what I mean? So going back to work is like, it's shitty because you're writing rhymes while you're doing whatever the fuck you're doing, and then you come back. Yeah. And it's like, I don't know, it just ages you a little bit. You know what I mean?
I think it's just so there's such a stark contrast between those two things. Like when you when you go play one of these shows maybe over the weekend, and you experience this high, maybe from that, and you feel like you're really in the place you want to be, and you're really doing the thing that you want to do, and then you have to go do this other thing that you don't want to do.
It's hell.
It makes you, I think it makes you like think about it.
Rocky,
you know. It's hard. It's hard to just resume back into work.
Yeah.
When you have experienced that thing that like gives you light.
Exactly. It's like being super high, and then you just turn around and it's gone. It's fucking gone. It's confused. Like, yo, I was just feeling, you know, it's kind of weird. So
it's mushrooms.
It's mushrooms. You yawn a couple times and then it's gone after it. You know what I mean? It doesn't make no sense. But
yeah, man. Talk to me about like what are your early memories of music? Like, what was your kind of entry point into either being like someone that was a music collector of yourself, like intently listening, or just like what inspired you to, you know, go down the path of expressing yourself that way?
For sure. I mean, bro, I started singing when I was like, I guess when I could speak, when I was able to speak, I just wanted to sing. You know, my dad and my mom, they played a lot of like Mexican music around me, you know, so it was all male singers, and so that's all I listened to.
Okay.
It was just crazy vocals, and you know, my mom had that flavor though, because she was born in Mexico, but she came up here at a young age, so she got to, and she's from the, you know, she grew up in the 90s, so she got to show me good R&B, you know what I mean, Boys to Men, and just crazy Keith Sweat records while listening to like a crazy corrido, you know. So it was just like a crazy balance, I guess. But that's like my earliest memory for sure, is like putting a fucking horse's head on a broom and a fake accordion and playing in front of my like forcing them to watch my set of like 6 covers. It's crazy, but you know,
the accordion has been around, huh?
Yeah, man, it's been around. That one is new, but I wish I had my old one, and like just the old swag I had just in a box, you know what I mean? So I could really show people like I've been
just already like getting down with the aesthetic at 6 years old.
You know, but hip hop, bro, didn't come around till, I mean, at least me being super infatuated, like that wasn't until probably my 6th grade year.
Do you feel like when you hear your music now, do you hear the influence of what your parents were playing when you were younger?
Oh yeah, I think I do, and I love that about my music now. Is like I feel some type of comfort, and I get the nostalgia and all that shit. You know, my first few tracks were just, you know, you think it's fire, then later you listen to it. I'll listen to my old shit and I'm like, where was I going with this? You know what I mean? So now I'm able to like really put in the shit I went through, or at least reference things I seen, movies.
Yeah,
or,
man.
I mean,
you can't paint the iconic painting the first time,
Nah,
that first go at it, you know?
Exactly.
You don't want to go back and listen to the first podcast that I did.
Oh man.
You don't need that.
Oh man.
You know?
Just because you said it, it's gonna be hard for me to go back, but I still will though.
But the stepping stones are necessary
great,
and
though,
important.
you
You
know?
know,
Yeah, exactly.
Like now you have like, I think it's cool when you set new bars for yourself.
For sure.
You know, and you're just
sure.
like, damn, I made this record. Like now everything has to be here, or I'm not gonna
right.
like be impacted by it. you
Yeah,
know?
man. It's almost scary too when it does happen, because you're like, you know, you get that feeling, I manifested this, but then it's I don't know, maybe because I do drugs and it fucks me up, because I'm like, this happened way faster than I thought it would. I made this record faster than I thought. You know, I used to come up and think, I used to listen to, you know, Grandmaster Flash and be like, how do I make this? And I was like 19. So
Yeah.
I really had to give myself a reality check. Like, look, man, you can't be all of these, like the nicest in one. You got to let whatever you're going through rock out, you know, as far as style. So I would say like it took a while to get my knife nice and, you know what I mean, nice and sharp.
Yeah, I bet, man. Yeah, it's also like one of the things I like about listening to your music is that I feel like it feels classic, even though it's like new in some ways. Like I think it,
Appreciate that, man.
maybe it's just like choices of beats and like production, but it and just also your delivery on the mic, like something about it feels timeless. Like if I feel like certain tracks of yours, or maybe even certain records, if somebody like gave it to me and I didn't know who you were, I would have trouble like placing when it came from.
For sure. I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That means a lot, bro. For sure.
When did you like really start getting into rap, and what was like your exposure to that, and you actually like starting to put pen to paper? Like were you always
Man.
somewhat interested in expressing yourself through writing before you
Yeah.
even got into rap?
Yeah, for sure. Like, well, you know, I wasn't rapping, but I was already trying to write like ballads, like Mexican ballads for my dad. You know, my dad had a crazy voice, so I would try to write.
Okay.
But I started really looking up to just emceeing and being nice when I probably like 7th grade, bro. There was that era where just, you know, Odd Future had just came out and just so many rappers. I was listening to like Wretch
Okay.
and Mac, early Mac, and just the Tumblr era of just all rappers. And that's when I really started looking at how, you know, because like Odd Future was young. You know, I'm in high school and I'm looking at them. They're having ciphers, and so people in middle school, they're we'd kind of have the same type of shit going on, and that just inspired me to go home and start like, I wasn't taking it too serious, but I was starting to pen some stuff down, or at least trying to rhyme
Yeah.
by force, you know. As soon as I got to high school, that's when I just took my first few papers that I had, couple bars on each, just shoved, like, you know, just stuffed them together, and look, I got a song, you know.
Okay.
But right after that, it was just, I just never stopped, I guess. It just all depended on what I was listening to at the time, because I came from that whole era, like the Wretchy P, and then I started getting into, like, Chief Keef ruined my life. So, you know, I was like, you know, my inspirations were a little different, so I was just glow ganged out, and so I was writing a little differently, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But oh man, it's just that whole shit. It was like a roller coaster. But I've been writing probably since like 14 years old. I've just been trying to get my shit nice.
And would you just like be practicing at home, actually like rapping like just over beat, like YouTube
We used to
beats,
rap
or,
over
like,
one beat. It was the UOE and No with fucking just so many rappers. If you, I guess you could search it up. You know, it's a classic. You know, Rick Ross is in it, but that was when Rick Ross said some possible shit in there. Put Molly in a champagne line. So we drifted away from that beat, but that was like the one beat where after school, me and my mans would come to, you know, my crib, and we just rap on that for like 3 hours, just like just freestyle on whatever the fuck we could think of. And yeah, I guess it progressed from there.
Yeah,
you
but
know?
that's like how you kind of cut your teeth and
Yeah,
like
that made
got
me,
your
like,
initial reps in of like
yeah.
maybe actually, you know, spitting like some of the stuff you
Yeah,
were writing.
possibly having that idea like, I could sound nice if I rhyme better, but at least I'm trying right now.
Yeah.
I guess, you know.
But also like practicing like kind of freestyling as well. Like,
Yeah, but I humbled myself like fast. I already knew that you suck at freestyling, so I just like I kind of stopped doing that. But the beats were always playing, you know.
yeah.
We were always playing something that, and if it wasn't beats, it was music and just me writing to those beats. And you know, when I started making music, I was on the type beats. You know, type beats kind of saved my life. So that's when we start throwing it on there. Oh, Wretch type beat, or you know, Nas type beats, which is crazy, but you know that's what it was, I guess.
Is that just like a platform for of beats that like you can access the type beats?
It's a rabbit hole.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you have those websites where, you know, producers will upload their shit, BeatStar, and all
Okay.
that. But you know, I was on YouTube, search it up, go to the lowest views, run it up. You know what I mean?
What was like your early experiences? Did it happen like in high school then that you would actually like record some of the stuff
Yeah.
you were working on? Like you had homies or like yourself like started like getting a microphone and being
So,
able to record, or what?
You know, it's a crazy because like my man Cabana, like he was working. He had a job before me. You know, he got his first job, started working at Ralph Lauren, and then he's like, "Yo, we're gonna buy a mic, we're gonna buy, you know, a computer,
Yeah.
and we're gonna record something. Like we're just gonna make it happen." So he introduced that. You know, we brought it to my crib,
Yeah.
and we recorded our first track in the crib, and we didn't know what the fuck we were doing, but like that just made everything. It made us go hard right away. You know, it was like we got to figure this shit out so that every day we can come and just, you know, rap on this shit.
And this is happening in Woodburn.
Yeah,
Oregon.
Woodburn, Oregon.
This is where
yeah.
you're born and raised?
Yeah, born and raised. Hell yeah.
Man, so I would imagine there's not like a ton of other people
Oh no.
maybe to be bouncing these ideas off, or like be putting together a cipher circle.
Yeah,
in
nah. super
Woodburn,
minimal.
Oregon. Tell people about like what Woodburn, Oregon is like, and like what your experience has been growing up there.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's a place where like it's hard for me to. I can't imagine myself leaving, but it has to happen. You know, that's how much love I got for it. But it's just one of those places where it's literally majority Hispanic or Latin, whatever, you know, whatever you want to call that. But we got mad flavor, and it almost becomes to the point where if you live in that city, you know, and you're of some type of heritage, you know, Latin heritage, you get comfortable because that's all you see around you. You go to any other city, and it changes like that, you know. Even from the city, you know, 10 minutes away from you, you just start, the culture shock is a little different, you know. And
Yeah.
it's all agriculture, so you know that's all we do out there. It's either that or construction, and so it's kind of like a little curse, you know what I mean? You're there, and it's not really time for you to have that little pocket in life where you could be like, yo, I want to make some music. Let's go to this foundation in Woodburn where we can like make it happen. You know,
Yeah.
all that it's like you got humbled there really quick. You know, that's all that dream shit is like. They're allergic to it, I guess. You know what I mean? It's a little weird.
It's like an hour from the city.
Oh yeah,
right.
You know, and I guess in Woodburn it's a lot of like, you know, in Portland there's venues and there's places where they, you know, you can, if you're an artist, you can come over here and you can hit an open mic and do all these like cool shits. And in Woodburn it's like, well, we have bars and we have, you know, a couple places where we do clubs, but it's only Mexican artists that come, or it's only, you know, a band or just someone of that nature, I guess. And
and then
all that rapping stuff. Yeah,
and then you could go like to the nearby city of like Salem, but there's probably not many rap shows happening in Salem, Oregon.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
There's way more rap shows in Salem than in our city. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
which is tough. Shit should change, but it is what it is. It's just for me at least, I love it because I come up here, I'm kicking it with all creative homies, and then I hit town, and it's like, it's just like a gray cloud, but I work better under that gray cloud. It's weird, but I gotta come out here and do me more because it's a lot more that gets done when I'm up here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What do you mean by the like that gray cloud and like how that ignites you or like motivates you in some way?
It's like I couldn't even tell you the boxing movie that I saw. It's like some shit. I remember this boxer, like, he hurt himself. He was telling himself, like, pain is temporary.
Okay.
And I like that. You know what I mean? It's because it's painful not to be creating art all day. You know what I mean? So when I hit town, that gray cloud is like the gray cloud being filled with, you know, just work and things like that makes me not, you know, have time to focus on art and things like that. You know, I like to paint, I like to do other shit. So, you know, it is a gray cloud, but by the time I'm done with what I need to do, like, I pour all the shit that I have coming from that gray cloud either onto a canvas, on a mic.
Yeah, I would imagine
So
there's
like
not a lot to distract you out there.
Yeah.
Like there's not, it's not like, oh, we're gonna go do this tonight.
Yeah.
We're gonna go do that. Like you have to come here for any of that. So you just have like a lot of like kind of alone time almost to work on your art. Like,
you know, and it's just one of those things where for a minute though, I was like, I wasn't working for a bit, so I had some time to actually like just go crazy in my city and just really just consume the culture more than ever, even though I've always been in it. But just little details in what I see, you know, which helped me a lot in my writing. But yeah, like, it's not the same once you go back to work and once you got a full 9 to 5, because you're a little, you know, that's all you think about at one point.
Yeah.
And then I guess you just find that time where you could stretch it, you know. You literally, like, when you have moments where I'm like, yo, I know how much time off I have. You're just like almost like a machine when you're there.
Yeah.
That's why when I record, I'm just like a one take type of guy. And it's not to brag, bro. I swear.
You're not bragging. Actually, I don't think you're bragging. It's funny. I sometimes when I'm about to do a podcast with somebody, maybe especially with somebody I don't know as well, you know, like you and I just like formally met like a week ago, you know, even though we've been in like some of the same spaces and we're familiar with each other's work.
For sure.
So this is like really the first time we're getting to hang out and chat. So I actually hit up Eric earlier today and I was like, yeah, what do you like about Dobleon? Like what keeps like bringing you back to that, you know?
Yeah.
And he said that you are just always so prepared and that he has never seen, he was like, I don't think I've ever seen him do a second take.
Yeah, shouts to Eric.
So I believe you, and I don't
Eric.
think you're bragging in that. I think that's like an amazing quality to have, man. Like it's impressive to me that you can go in and do it that way.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah, it's yeah, he's definitely been there where he'll see me just get to work.
Yeah.
But again, it's that battery, you know? It's that thing in my back that's like, fuck it, I'm here. Like I guess you could say what everybody says, you know, I'm hungry, you know.
Well,
It's that like motivation, I guess.
Yeah, do you think it's also because you are like maybe throughout the week working so hard doing stuff that's not music that you feel like the time that you have to make music is like pretty precious?
Oh yeah, most definitely, bro. I would say that's spot on, you know. Even like when I don't hit studios with like Eric or things like that, I will be at my crib recording, and it's like, you know, that's a getaway for real.
Yeah.
Even though it's 2 songs in, I'm just like, we made the song fast, but shit, that's more time for me to drink something, smoke something, and just listen to that on loop.
Yeah.
And then who knows, maybe I'll start writing again. And that's really how it pans out most of the time.
For your mind, right? Hey yo, listen, man. It seems to me like every other day the homie see your body drop. I drink liquor, smoke weed until I gotta stop. I mean, I gotta crop plenty of seeds. Even though it's hard to go the block 20 degrees, it's like a celly with G's. I'm talking 4 walls, and I'm still trying to make it till my mama get them phone calls. Walking on, we gon' crawl until I'm flatline. Cause Dobleon got the best of any mankind. Ham swan, baby, never buying some rap. Cock a band and chop the sample, put the beats on the map. I feature with tracks and overly move the pen with the turn. To try to represent the day I see my father yearn after everything we earn in this lifetime. Just hit the booth and proceed to hit with the right rhyme. Quite fine, but shit ain't always this bright. Rest in peace, the horse, at least I know you gave it a fight. The J we ignite, then blow out the smoke and look in the sky. It's peace to all my brothers, they the reason why we fly. And I can't even lie while I'm penning this rhyme. Think I'm feeling soft, water dropping down from my eye. And that's words to my guys, till I'm falling off the wheel. Life can be a bitch, but homie, now we
What's
got
been
to
like the
heal. No,
development
that's how you underbid.
for you, like as a rapper, and like being able to step into a room and just like one take, man, like that's what I need. Like, what do you attribute? I don't know. Like, what do you attribute that to, or like what do you feel like you're like? Have you had like particular practices around trying to become a better rapper, or
I think it was from like when I was, you know, in high school making music. Like I had a time frame from when I got off school. Me and this fool would go.
Cabana's in the room?
You know, shout out to my man Cabana. He's right here too. You know, me and that fool would just go straight from school to my crib, and my mom wouldn't be off work till like 5. Right? Let's say I get off at 2:30. I have a good time frame.
Yeah.
So in the time it takes to look for beats, I'll be writing or whatever, and we'll knock it out. We'll have like a little window to knock out like 7 songs. We used to knock out like 7 songs every day, 6, at least 5, and I was just always rushing myself, you know?
Yeah.
And so when I actually had time after high school, it was like, it wasn't even fair for like anybody that would record with me, because I don't know, I think they thought I would need some time, but I was like, yo, let's just get to it.
That's all you were doing.
That's all I was doing, bro. Just rushed. But you know, at the time I didn't even see it like that. I was just like, look, man, my mom comes back at this time. If we're gonna get high, we gotta go do that now, and then we gotta rap. Like,
Yeah.
let's make it work. So shit, now it's like I come up here and they want me to go and get high and chill and talk to people before I record. But yeah, I like to just knock it out, and then I'll go enjoy myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
you want to get the work done
yeah,
first.
the work is just
And you take the time seriously.
for sure.
The time that you have to do it.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
I mean, it comes from love of doing it.
straight
I
up
guess.
love, yeah. Fucking sweat and tears, and not really tears, but you know, sweat for sure. Like,
Yeah.
you're in a fucking studio with like 8 men. Pause. But like, you know, and it gets a little humid in there, and I just want to spit my verse, and
Yeah.
then everybody can just do what they want to do. You know what I mean? Like,
you mentioned earlier that, you know, some of it comes from pain, maybe.
yeah.
Do you feel like it's always been real comfortable for you to like express your feelings or like what you're going through your music, and it's been like pretty helpful for you?
I think so, man. I think I'm not good at completely like pulling like this terrible reference, but like the way Immortal Technique and like a lot of cats like kind of have that crazy structure where they can really pour pain on a track. Like I salute them,
Yeah.
but I don't know if I have that in me to like really be super transparent, you know what I mean, on a track at least. But like the way I write and the way I'll throw things in there about like my personal shit,
Yeah.
it's almost like these are my little films, you know what I mean? My character will, let's say it's about my mother, but I'll name it something. She'll be a different name. Or,
Yeah.
you know, things like that. I do make music like that, you know, and I guess I don't know, man. It's something that lately I've been trying to get more into, like that one-on-one with my writing and trying to be more, you know, because I do put on for the word pain a lot, and pain is like a motivator, like I was trying to say, you know. So on my music now, which I'm very proud of, it's pain to me because I'll go and there's a lot of lines that people around me won't get, but to me, I know what I know I'm spilling, so it feels
man.
good, you know.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be on the nose for everybody else to know exactly what it is. Like,
yeah,
I think a lot of people appreciate the mystery too of like not understanding everything to the fullest, or like,
you know,
leaving it open for interpretation. And it's not like, like you're saying, it's not like I feel like your music is like incredibly self-reflective, like through the lyrics, and like, who knows, like maybe that comes in time. Like you said you're 20,
sure.
you said you're 23 years old. Dude. Like that shit didn't, I don't know. I don't feel like I personally got super self-reflective until much later than that, you know?
Man,
so it's like maybe that comes in time, but I would still imagine, even if it's not super on the nose, or you feel like you're revealing yourself, like particular situations or relationships, like in the music, just putting that much like time and passion into something, or, you know, energy into something that you are passionate about, must do something mentally for you,
really
like in
does.
a positive way.
Yeah, it really does, bro. It's almost I don't know, man. Like even within a release, my mind just, or my mentality just, shit just gets better every time, you know. I'm just more, I don't know, I'm more comfortable knowing my shit's out there for somebody to listen to.
Yeah.
'Cause I know, you know, maybe it's from where I'm from or shit like that. Like I like when people feel what I feel, but you know, I want to be more, I guess, relatable in the sense of like, because I get a lot of people asking me, I've gotten a lot of questions, yo, why do you always say pain over this, or shouts to pain, why do you always shout out pain? And it's like, because everything is pain. Like, you know, I'm inspired by, you know, the meth users in my city. That's pain, you know what I mean? Like motherfuckers getting hooked up at a market because they don't have it like that today, and they'll come back, and I see the owner say, whatever, just come back tomorrow and pay me back, you know what I mean? And that's pain. Like just shit around me is like, it's super inspiring. And I just, when I say like I jot shit down, or you know, I write about pain, that's my pain. My pain comes in all types of flavor, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I guess it's not always bad, but you know, you gotta feel something. It's like kind of like working out, you know, you gotta feel pain to know it's working, you know.
For sure. Yeah, and I mean, obviously, it's your life experience. Like, this is all your lens.
Yeah.
And it's all been informed by, like, where you come from and like the day to day that you're seeing,
Exactly.
you know, and you know, it's not all roses for everybody.
Nah.
That's for sure. And I
Nah.
think like I've never lived in a town as small as Woodburn or like been in a, you know, there's so many like very small towns
For sure,
around
yeah.
you, and you're like just kind of like on this I-5 corridor. You're
Yeah,
a
man.
pass-through town,
Exactly.
you know, so
Shouts to Slick.
it's like you're not gonna see a ton of different
Nah.
things happening there, right?
Yeah, the main flavor's probably on the 99, you know. Was straight up. I mean, I got my downtown section where, you know, that's my spot. I love that spot, but I always give it up to the 99 because that's where, at least in Woodburn, that's where all the good, like, food is, you know.
Yeah.
That's where you can get your tires fixed. That's where you can get, you know, the check changed into cash. 7-Eleven, the only one. You know what I mean? Like, just shit like that.
Yeah, maybe you like develop a different level of empathy for the people too, because I would imagine everybody becomes pretty familiar, like in a small town like
sure.
that. Like you know that same person that's on the corner, like on this corner all the time, like the meth heads you're talking
Yep,
about.
the
It's
meth
like
heads.
you're seeing the same ones, you know,
The same dude
the
that
same people.
circles Little Caesars and shit. Like, it's just shit like that where it's like, I find beauty in just terrible shit, I guess, but that's, to me, it's fire, you know. My homie just sent me a picture of like an apartment he used to live here, and it was super trashed. He sent me a picture of it, and I'm like, something about it though, it's kind of fly. Just the way the tweaker held, like he framed his bed and tagged on it, and I'm like, that could be sold somewhere, but that's beyond the point. I got carried away. You know what I mean? But like,
it's a podcast. You're
it's a
supposed
podcast.
to.
You know what I mean?
You're doing it right. If you got carried away somewhere,
It's just one of those things, I guess.
yeah.
Fuck.
How did you like start to get plugged in with people in Portland? Like, did you guys start like coming up to see shows, or like, yeah, what was even like exposure to early, like seeing
man.
people, seeing a rap show or any kind of music,
yeah.
like live show as a younger person? Like, would you have to come, like intentionally come to the city or go to like Eugene or Corvallis or something?
Yeah, man. I've gone to Eugene. I stayed in Eugene for a couple of days when I was in high school with my homie, and his brother it was like his first year in college, and we stayed in his dorm, and I got to hear, that's where they put me on to like Dizzy Wright and a lot of like weed music.
Okay.
It was super weedy, but I fucked with it, and I got to see like shows there and shit. Like there was like a show going down. Wasn't there, but flyers and shit. It was the first time I ever seen flyers. It was like, what the
College
fuck?
town,
you know,
yeah.
and that was good flavor. And then I got to go to my first like show. I think I saw, I don't know, it was a terrible show. It was like Smoke Perp or somebody, and I never seen so many. It was like a wave of people, you know.
Yeah.
It's like a wave of people, and there's a lot of trap rappers that I want to go see. So I saw like that, the raves or whatever, when they do the circle and they hit each other.
Yeah.
I saw that go down, and I didn't really like that, but what I did like was the crowd engagement and all that. I love that. Like, I love when fools will put the mic out and then everybody sings it, and that shit was just tight to me, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. It's powerful when you see like that many people singing the words to something.
Yeah.
And just like, yeah, the community is just
sure.
There's something communal.
It is, man.
About that many people in unison.
It's
like
foreign. Like,
even
it
if it's
super foreign.
honestly, yeah, if you can get 20 people doing that in a room, like it feels pretty good.
It does, man.
You know?
Shit, even 4 people, but
yeah,
and shit, I remember those shows, bro. Seeing like local people open up,
yeah,
and sometimes they'd get booed, and it would just scare the shit out of me. I just was like, I like rap, but I don't know if I love her yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, but then when you see some local cats open up for like, again, like shit, like, I guess an Action Bronson or somebody, then you start seeing just the feedback and it almost, I guess it's so good sometimes you almost question, shit, I thought that was the headliner. You know what I mean? That's how good it is.
Yeah.
And that inspired me at least. So
Yeah, man.
just seeing shit like that, bro, just really wanted me. Because I look around at the crowd and I'm like, yo, I bet you some of these people are linked to people that know these guys. You know, I'm in a city I can only imagine.
Yeah.
But I never really chopped it up with nobody when I went to shows until Cabana was going to PSU and he met, or I forgot what school it was, but he was pretty cool with some homie of ours. His name's Aiden Blades, and like he started fucking with us and really showing me how his homies get down here. And,
Okay.
you know, that's when I got hip to like shit, even Amine, like all these, you know, different things. And the first producer though that like was like, yo, I want you to work with me was for sure Eric though. Like he was the one that came to like probably like my third show here, like my second show,
Yeah.
you know? And that was just crazy because I never had that where some fool's like, yo, I have beats that you should rap on. That was in like,
Yeah. Eric's
Spawn.
serious about it too. He's like,
yeah,
if he's like, hey, let's do this. He's gonna make it happen.
yeah, that fool came with like an intention, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Say, listen, fuck all this shit. I got some beats. Do you want them? And I'm like, yo, send them my way and shit. But yeah, he put me on for sure.
So were those some of like your first shows when you came to Portland, like to perform live?
Yeah, my first show was I think it was at White Eagle.
Okay.
DJ Cliff had invited me
Yeah.
and he put me on, so that was like my introduction to Portland for real.
How do you remember like what it felt like to perform for the first time?
Yeah, it honestly, like I blacked out during the performance, like I think like everyone does, but it fucked with me a certain way, man, because people tipped me that day and I had money to go home with, you know, and I'm used to rapping and not coming home with nothing or just,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So that was a different feeling. And, you know, just meeting, like, it's cool because you're at a show, right? And then someone there that does the same shit as you, if not produces, whatever, you know, is in that realm. Just because they saw you up there, that's like, hey, yo, that shit was cool, whatever.
Yeah.
And you start chopping it up, boom. Next thing you know, 3 other fools know you because of this guy. And that's kind of how it was for me, for sure. And that night specifically was like that. That's when I met Versatile. Versatile told me like, yo, you're fucking crazy.
Oh, I mean, that's
And
a
that was
pretty
like,
good nod. That's a,
you
that's
know,
a good person to get some validation from, you know, a legend of the scene.
And I know about Versatile and Cool Nuts from like back in the day. You know, my uncles would do crystal to that shit, you know, and like, and so it was dope meeting Versatile and getting him to tell me like, yo, you go crazy, you know, just keep going. And
Yeah.
I never wanted to not perform in Portland after that. Like, I always wanted to be up here after that.
Do you remember feeling pretty comfortable with the performance? Like, or even now, like, do you feel much nerves around getting on the mic?
Nah, honestly, even when I had that performance, I had nerves, but I think that was probably the most nervous I got, and it was minutes before I performed, but just sweaty hands, you know. But other than that, nah, I get a little anxious, but it's almost like I just want to go crazy, you know. I start moving my jaw weird, and then I guess I don't remember nothing after. That's my problem, though. I don't remember what I say after I rap.
I mean, yeah, I wonder if that's just the preparation that you've done, or like the amount of time that you put in to like just know that when you are going to step up to the mic, that you put in the work, and it just goes on fucking autopilot for you, dude.
For sure, bro. Like, I mean, shit. I was going to fucking my first 2 shows that I went like as like a fucking, you know, music consumer. They were fucking trap artists that were, you know, they were just rapping over the song with their vocal. And then when I started going to like real rap shows, just beats and the mic, like they don't do that, you know, the vocal's not going to save you on this part.
Yeah.
And a lot of people at that time that like would talk to me about performing, I was almost like crazy to them. That was like, what? No vocal on the song? Like, what am I going to perform? Like, what if I don't remember? Well, that's the art, you know what I mean? And to me, it was super intriguing to have that. So once I got up here, bro, I knew like, yo, I gotta do this shit the right way.
Yeah.
Cause I don't want to disrespect nobody.
You're just rapping over your tracks.
Just rapping over my tracks with high ass vocals.
It's brutal.
You know, hit the giddy and just like nah, man. I'm not good at dancing, so just let me fucking rap and that's it. I kind of scared folks at a beats happening. I was like the only rapper there.
At this past one?
Oh yeah, when you
I
were
didn't
there,
think you scared anybody.
I feel like I did, bro. Like I had Lee, or you know, I had the homie apologize after my set or something like that to the kids in the back.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, yo,
dropped a couple, you know. Hey, it's
Couple
hard,
year in the
it's,
means,
hard, it's
but-
hard to. I feel like it's so rare that you get to perform around kids that it's hard to remember sometimes. So
yeah,
give yourself some grace.
yeah, no, for sure. It's just one of those moments where I was like, I thought I did crazy, and then I saw kids leave. I'm like, oh, okay, like maybe this wasn't the right time to spit this, but it's okay, you know.
You learn.
What if the kid liked it?
It
Who
doesn't
knows?
mean the set wasn't fire.
You know, hey man, that was probably one of my favorite sets for real.
I
but
enjoyed it. I was there.
That was crazy times, you know.
Do you ever get involved with any sort of beat making?
Ah man, you know, I've tried it. I like the idea of me just making loops,
Yeah.
but I actually have a track that I produced, like half of it, but it's on Bandcamp. And
Okay.
it's on my Bandoleros tape, and I that was like my only attempt, and then I just kind of, I'm gonna just leave it to the people that can handle that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I suck. I don't have the patience.
You're inspired to rap and put time into that.
Yeah, I'm down to find the sample.
Yeah.
You know, I'm always down to be there and find the sample, but yeah, I can't chop it the
Yeah.
way I hear it in my head. You know.
But Cabana has been there since
Yeah,
the
Cabana
beginning,
just.
making music.
Yeah,
And-
he's just been recording me, making music, you know, making beats, and the whole step, the whole way.
Yeah.
We just been getting down. But when he got into beat making, that was when it transcended into, I would say, into the like where I wanted it to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Versus like the YouTube route was getting a little rocky.
For
you
sure.
know?
Yeah.
It was getting got spooky, so
Yeah.
we had to, you know, the moment he showed me a beat that was fire, even though he didn't think it was fire, which is like 90% of the shit that happens. He makes a beat and he's like, it's not fire, and then I use it, and then later it'll be fire. So it's just kind of I let it rock. I let him do him.
Yeah.
But his first few beats, I was like, yo, I'm gonna rap on this one, I'm gonna rap on this one, and then he just started making more beats. I ended up saying, yo, I like this sound, we should make a tape
Yeah.
of this sound. So we did, and yeah, I think from then we just never stopped. Like I never stopped rapping on his beats after that.
Yeah. Obviously you guys grew up together. You've like grown as artists together, and have probably like a lot of shared reference for things as
Oh, for
far as
sure.
life and where you come from. But what do you think it is about that like relationship that works so well creatively, and like what's inspiring about it and like keeps bringing you back to that?
I think both of our interests, like in like, you know, in the genres of music, like, you know, I think we both bonded off R&B records before any hip hop shit.
Yeah, man. There's
You know, so
what
that
is it?
was kind of like the core of that.
yeah, that El Centro
Yeah.
track. Yeah.
Oh, hey man, I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
yeah, that's one of my favorites on that new record.
Hey,
for sure.
Hell yeah. That's pain right there. Like, I was speaking some shit about, taking fools to get the fade at the roots, and things like that. But you see, like, I think tracks like even El Centro and some of those joints on Locura, like, they're very jazzy, and I think jazz is what made me and this fool even, like, go crazier with, like, just the creative process, because we're both jazz heads, he put me on to jazz that I never heard, and I put him on to, like, R&B, certain R&B stuff that my mom used to have, and
Yeah.
so it was kind of like, it just worked so perfectly,
Yeah.
And when I first, like, started releasing music as Dobleon, like, my first record is an R&B record, so I came in this, like, yeah, I'm gonna rap for sure, but, like, we could take it in certain spots, what I
Yeah,
mean?
man. And it's like, I think the R&B is like such a perfect like compliment to like what you do on the mic.
Appreciate that.
It's just like, it's smooth, it's butter,
Hey yo, I wrote the leaf on the concrete. The bomb beats got me pondering dark streets. The art speaks. I bought some gold for my fronts. And it tastes amazing when I'm blowing my runs. I bake raw papers, prawn capers, the weed and corn vapors. Hit the central for the cut. I'm getting the ball taper, bomb drapers. Pushing ropa, Guatemalteca. Chevy Silverado, probably playing son los huecas. Mi meta son shit you never seen in your life. Hang the chicken by the feet and blade it with a knife. Hanging with your wife, promise, baby. I'm like Alfonso Zayas. I'm probably chilling with Pony, talking about the fire that you kick. Cause he ain't never had the man to spit. I'm just trying to spin the grass and give you a massive hit. Tragic fit, shit I'm rocking, always imported. Watermelon dragon hit the hash and I recorded. I mean, the flow aborted. Your shit was never live, clipped it, I'm a dive, jumping a million feet.
I think that's like one of the things I enjoy about like, yeah, most of the like the catalog is like, especially on the new record Locura, like you can like really hear, like you can hear the R&B,
Oh, bro.
It's not just like El Centro, it's like other tracks on there for sure.
Oh yeah, fucking, I have a song there called New Jack. Like, that New Jack swing, like, that shit fucked my mom's world up. You know what I mean? Like, I'm telling you, it's just certain references I have. Even if I might not go R&B, like, I might reference, or you might hear a Keith Sweat ad lib. Like, you just might hear something R&B ish. But my most R&B shit that I love now is like my shit on Pastel Stains. Like, I have a joint there where I was just like, I sang a little bit, you know what I mean? But I got a lot of joints where I sing. I just haven't really released them like that. But yeah, man, I do like to sing. I'm just not.
It sounds like it from the jump. You were when you
Yeah.
came out of the womb. You were singing.
I was singing a
you know?
Keith Sweat verse when I was born. It was crazy.
I think I'm excited to like maybe hear you lean into that a little bit, and it's not assuming necessarily that like you're some great singer. I think it's actually like the people that aren't great singers sometimes that just still sing on the record.
For sure.
Where it's like not their main thing, but like it's like Slick.
Yeah. Oh, you
When
know what
Slick
I was gonna
sings, dude, it's so fucking fun.
I was gonna say Slick is one of my inspirations, bro.
I don't think he's like some like technically some incredible singer,
but he goes
I've
crazy.
told Slick to
Yeah, I remember that
on the
episode.
mics.
Fire
I've told
episode,
him
by
this,
the way.
but like it's there's something about that like where you can like feel the authenticity in it, and you can feel like the passion for it, or
Yeah.
that it was just like Slick just felt like singing in that moment.
Yeah,
so
bro.
he fucking sang.
So he just does it,
and then he
yeah.
put it on the record, and I love that, dude.
And it's butter, And,
Yeah.
And honestly, I was literally gonna reference Slick and Max B. Like, Max B has some songs where the fucking singing is off, but it's so off
Max.
that it's fucking fly. Max B records, man. Like,
Okay.
he's the reason why I was like, man, I'm gonna sing on the hook.
Yeah.
Fuck it, you
Yeah.
know.
It's fun.
It is, bro. It's also, it's kind of like what you guys said in that last podcast. Like, it adds like a good gap to the song, whereas like you can, all right, I have a hook, I can lean on this now,
Yeah.
and I can write a crazy verse and know that like I have this to save me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I like to do shit where I throw a hook, a verse, and I'll call it done. You know, I might put the hook at the end, but sometimes I feel like it doesn't really need that. You know?
Well, you guys, you and Cabana, like, geek out about music pretty heavy? Then, like, or like when you're listening to music, do you feel like you're analyzing it like pretty heavily? Or like, oh damn, I can maybe like sample
I feel
that.
like Cabana does a lot.
Okay.
Like I'll play something. Oh, these drums are crazy. Oh, you know, me, I think the whole shit's crazy, but that fool will start like taking pieces out. I'm gonna jack those, or
Yeah.
I'm a, you know, I need some shit like that. Let's sample this, you know. So it's pretty cool, you know, because I'll know a lot of shit as far as like when we're looking for samples, you know, like Mexican samples or just like anything South American, like he tends to know more.
Yeah.
Like, yo, there's this fucking group my dad was talking to me about, and whereas like I'll know more shit because like I was down a rabbit hole of like, let's say, I don't know, you know, some like Brazilian jazz group. I'll just go down rabbit holes and yo, look, I got this, I found this, or you know, so it's like a super good chemistry of like, I guess we can consume music together, and that fool will be going crazy in the back, and we'll still vibe out. And then those moments are like, yo, send me something.
Yeah.
And then boom, you know, we click just like that and shit.
Well, yeah, and I'm assuming too that it's just like as time goes on and you both get more reps at things, like it's gonna get easier and easier for you to show him something and be like, I'm thinking something like this, and like him being able to like execute that.
Oh yeah,
quicker and quicker. Like,
yeah, and honestly, I feel like it's already happened. You know, like there's a couple beats that I've rapped on that when he plays a sample, I'm like, yo. You know, or like you were asking me if I ever got into beat making. Well, that was my beat making. Hey, yo, I chopped this. Listen to it and tell me if you get what I'm trying to chop. And then he'll send me back the beat that I wanted.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So that's how it works basically, and it'll happen from time to time where I have ideas like that, and he'll execute it like within the hour. But
yeah. That's nice that you can like find somebody where it's like you have this vision in your head, but you're not like technically sound like making beats.
Yeah.
But like you want to hear this thing that's in your head.
Yeah.
And to like
bro.
be able to have somebody that can like help facilitate it and like really understands like your vocabulary and your reference for this shit.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
You know? And honestly, I feel like when we go back and start listening to like joints our parents heard, like that's when it gets better. Like to me, that's when the rhymes get like just more, that's when the rhymes get tough, and that's when like the beats just sounded crazier. They just start knocking differently. Like when we made Locura, that's how it was, you know. It was like just straight up the streets. Like we're like just thinking, you know, you hear a lot of shit as far as hip hop, you know, the elements, you know, the graffiti and the beat making and all that. And I like that in Mexico, like those fools are still doing that. You know, that's still the norm. You know what I mean? Whereas like the norm is, at least over here, it's not like that, you know. We're not, you know, pushing that agenda too much anymore. You really got to look for that culture, you know. That's why this tape is, to me, like super important, because it was like most of them are samples from, you know, shit our parents liked, and all these little moments in time, you know, where we just put, it was like a, you know, like a nice little hoodie, you know.
Yeah. Do you have any idea like what that is, that like once you started kind of going back to that stuff, when you're saying like, oh, it, like when we went back to it, things started hitting differently?
Yeah.
Like, do you have any idea like what that spirit is that like within that stuff that's like translating? Or is it just like,
I mean, like it almost feels like, you know, when you play soccer and shit, and then you're with the homies, you're playing like on a Sunday or whatever, you know,
like FIFA?
Yeah, FIFA, you know, shit, even FIFA, bro. Like, yo, I'm losing against this team. Why'd you put me on professional mode? Give me the control, I got it. Type of shit. You know what I mean? Type of shit. But if you're talking like, you know, we both play sports, so I think like that even made shit crazier, like spiritually, that because we always like we know what it is to lose, we know what it is to win, and like
Yeah.
we go harder because we both want to win, you know what I mean? And so he's gonna give me the craziest shit, and I'm gonna deliver, you know, right back. So
You want to show up for each other.
exactly, bro. It's literally like a soccer team, you know, a 2-man soccer team, which is crazy, but it's like that, you know. And I think that like the sports reference is like super important because it's like that, you know. I go to shows and I'm performing with people, I work with people and do all this type of shit because I know we can win. We can bring back a nice W, you know, keep it tucked.
Yeah, man. I think it's interesting to talk with people that are like really into making art that have either like do play team like competitive team sports or have in the past. I think they sometimes have a different mentality around
They
things.
do,
And
bro.
I don't think it's like necessary
No, for sure.
for someone to like have that
No,
experience
yeah.
to make
But if
great
you
art.
do, it's
I
a
know
plus,
plenty
though.
of people that don't, and like I just think it adds maybe a different characteristic, or they have maybe some of that mindset you're talking about. And it's
Yeah.
not. I don't think it's always like must win
No, yeah,
type
no, for
shit.
sure.
You
But
know,
it's
like
like
I don't think it's like that toxic
Nah.
necessarily.
nah.
But there is like this accountability or competitive edge sometimes that seems to breed something different or bring something out differently.
Yeah, and you know, I exactly, because it's, I mean, I could say I'm trying to fucking score and, you know, fuck Cabana, but nah, like I'm down I'm down to give the center so he can hit the header, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I like to see, as long as I know we're gonna win, fuck it, man, let's play, you know?
Or I'm sure there's like, I don't know, you guys are so obviously you've grown up together, so you're close. I would imagine you have the type of relationship where you can be honest with each other of being like, hey man, you didn't bring
Yeah,
the thing.
for sure.
Or like
For
he
sure,
can let
yeah.
you know like, hey, you didn't like,
Yeah.
you're not hitting here.
That's a fact.
You know, so like I think it's that too.
Yeah.
Of like that comfortability to be like, we can do better.
Yeah.
Or you can do better, and that's gonna elevate both of us, like you're saying. You know, it's
Exactly.
like it's not trying to like dust each other necessarily, but it is maybe trying to raise the bar for each other too. It's like, oh damn, you brought that this time. Like,
You know?
I want to go even harder for this then.
Exactly. It's like when they give that little band for the captain of the team, he's running in and he's like flexing it. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that moment. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it, but it's kind of like that moment.
Hell yeah. He talked to me about the, you know, like obviously like being Mexican is like who you are, like a part of you.
Sure.
But can you talk to me about like the importance of making sure that there's like some Spanish brought into the mix as
yeah.
far as like some of the records, some of the tracks, and
Yeah.
and bringing that into the fold and
Sure. Well, you know, I want to just be as, I guess I want my character to really like show off in tracks, you know, and like there's this saying, you know, where like, you know, people in Mexico, like they don't see people like me, that even though I'm Mexican, you know, but I was born here, so I'm just a fucking American boy over there, you know.
yeah.
So when they hear me, you know, and they think, oh, okay, you like hip hop, yeah, you're an American boy. Okay, well, I like to mix up the flavor because it, you know, it's almost like just to throw folks off a little bit in a great way, but it's just almost to flex a little bit. I think when I throw in my Spanish, like I'm able to almost like represent for, you know, my people, I guess, and just what I want to hold down, but you know, through my way. I could really, I guess when I started putting my Spanish into my my rhymes and shit, I was overthinking it a lot because it's really easy for people to be like, oh, he's a cholo rapper, or he's a Latin rapper guy. And I didn't want that, because there's a lot of rappers that are the greatest that they have Spanish lines. Ghostface has Spanish lines, you know. We can go on, and those moments in time to me are praised, and I just wanted to kind of like do the same shit but with my slang, you know what I mean? And yeah, like that is like one of the reasons why I even started just throwing that shit in there. And plus, like, I'm just trying to bring this like, cause this pocket of rap is the flyest pocket of rap to me, like even the people here in Portland, like there's a lot of fly shit coming out, and I like the fact that somebody like Slick can be like, yo, I want you on a track, and then he lets me bar out, and I'm literally fucking talking about how it's $80 for a green card, if you need it, come get it, and no one gets it. But like if you speak Spanish, you understand it and shit. And then when I tell the homies that don't, they almost appreciate it more, and just that feedback that I get from when I mix up the lingo, I appreciate that shit more. It makes me more proud, because I get to put folks on and really just, and I don't even try to do it in like I'm this and you're not type of way. It's kind of like, yo, let me put you on, because that's at least my thing. A lot of people gatekeep and shit, I feel like they gatekeep some parts of their culture, and I think there's no better way than me giving you my slang and shit like that,
That extra flavor.
Exactly, bro.
Are you do you speak Spanish at home? Like,
yeah, bro,
family, like, and like pretty regularly too?
Yeah, pretty regularly, like
so
it's all around
dude.
me,
So that's part of it too. Like when you talk about offering like your whole character, or like that's all, like if that's a part of your life, like why not make it a part of the music? And just like we were almost even talking about the singing of like being able to like jump into that from time to time just to offer this other dynamic too. Like that's such a killer dynamic to me, man, where you're gonna go speak a different language, you're gonna go rap in a different language, like,
bro,
just that you can speak two languages fluently is like incredible to me. Like
appreciate that.
I took my necessary Spanish classes in school, and I grew up in Southern California, so it was like it's pretty jarring to me coming to Oregon and seeing how fucking white it was. Like I'm used to being around like a bunch of like Mexican, Hispanic people,
exactly,
and so it was that experience was like crazy to me. So like I'm so used to like hearing Spanish, like, or I used to be. I'm desensitized now being up here for like
for sure.
11 years, but like I just think that's such a dope part of your dynamic, and like being able to throw that stuff in there. It's like also I like listening to music in different languages, because even if I can't understand it, like the vocal just becomes another instrument,
right? Which
is sick. Do you feel like do you have to think about it a lot differently when you are placing the Spanish in there, or do you feel like you can do a lot of different things when you bring a different language into the mix?
Well, honestly, like just being off the cuff is super important when I throw in the Spanish, because if I start thinking about like super hard my Spanish parts, like it almost steers me away from it. So what I'll do is like in my head I'll have like gibberish going on where I'm like finding the flow.
Yeah.
And as I'm going, like I'll throw in Spanish lines, and if I think they sound like right, I'll fill them in, I'll write it down, and then I'll see how it sounds a couple times, and I'll either like keep the Spanish going, or I'll cut it, and I'll just mix it, But lately I've been trying to do some shit where I'm gonna steer to like at least drop like an all Spanish project, but that's just within time, you know what I mean? But like, cause The Spanglish is what I like a lot
Yeah.
because I get to go back and forth. You know, it's like fucking. It's like I have an abrasive side or some shit. You know what I mean? And then I come back to this calm side. It's like the green sponge, the yellow side and the green part. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Is that like? Do you feel like that's also like very much how you're thinking?
Yeah.
Like internally,
like if
internal
I'm
monologue is
right. Like
is,
if I'm listening to a beat and I'm like, fucking trying to rap, some type of shit in English, and if I'm referencing like, oh, flip you like a sandwich, I'll just think about a reference of a fucking torta that I ate or something sandwich like,
yeah.
and then I'll throw that in. You know what I mean? It's just like I have like ADHD when I start fucking rhyming, but it works though, and I go through this thing where honestly, if it doesn't sound good, I'ma cut it. Like I'm not even gonna include the Spanish in there because it might not need it. You know what I mean? So it just really depends, But
Yeah, trying to do it tastefully though, and
yeah, I always try to do it with like the right taste or the right amount.
yeah.
But yeah, the feedback though, ever since like I dropped my shit was like Spanglish in it, it's been excellent, bro. So
Yeah.
I'm hella thankful for that.
Hell yeah, man. Well, just to maybe wrap things up, just when you think about where you're at now, just fresh off the release of this new record, in comparison to like maybe where you started or like when you first started like putting some recorded music out, where do you feel like you see like the most growth within yourself, like either as a person or artistically, and just like where you feel like you're at in the process of things?
Oh man, I feel like right now, I'm at the right place, just with everything, I guess, like stylistically, even, my environment, bro, like just the people I'm working with and like I'm around, they're just, all of it just really helps me, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. Probably wasn't until this whole year where I was like finally feeling my shit move and finally get like people to really consume my shit, you know what I mean? For a minute I thought like we were just flies on the wall until like people started showing love and be like, nah man, we gotta work.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm super fucking thankful for everything that's been going on as of recent, For this tape, I had specific features on there because I was trying to tap into markets. I'm trying to tap into different markets now. That's like my next goal, I'm trying to blow up in Mexico somehow, bro. Like I'm trying to make that happen. So that's why I had a Mexican artist on Locura, Ken and Kel, Guzman Nuve, and he's blowing up and he's already big in Mexico, and I thought it was dope to put Cannibal Ox because when I worked with him, like, Vass was just like, yo, you gotta tour with me in South America, like we gotta do some shit because you would be perfect over there and shit. So like ever since that, I'm like, all right, you're gonna be on my project, So I'm just trying to like, and I'm trying to be to the point where like I like the Portland scene a lot. Like I really respect like Portland's hustle. Like all the artists I met up here, they're just super creative, bro, and that makes me better. You know what I mean? I'll come by and I'll get inspired off fools with new T-shirts and new hats and all that, And
Yeah.
so it was only right, I put my man Sage on the tape too, because he's from Portland, so I'm like, man, everybody's gonna get love,
Yeah. Do you feel like you're like you get a different experience out of making a track that is solely just you rapping on the track versus something that has other people on it?
Yeah, bro. I think when I just do it myself, I don't even know. It's like it's like when fools put the black contacts on.
Yeah.
That's me by myself, and then like when I'm working with somebody, like I have normal eyes and shit. Like, you know what I mean? Because I'm just in another fucking zone. Like I'm 4 beers down and 4 spliffs away, and then I'm just trying to fucking. I always picture Ghostface rapping in a bathroom, like, and that's me every time I rap. Like I'm just in this element where I want it as grimy as possible, you know.
Yeah.
But when I work with other folks, like I feel like I'm in a team. Like I'm playing fucking, you know, like I'm practicing with the soccer team right before like a good 4-day tournament. That's how it feels. And I always get like I almost feel like I write faster when I'm working with somebody, you know, whereas I'm by myself, like I'll write a couple joints, but I'll take a good minute, you know what I mean? But yeah, I enjoy both, to be honest, but there's nothing like when I'm by myself and I'm just getting at the paper, like, you know what I mean?
But they're having other people around you, and you're like actually writing in the room that inspires you as well. Super. And like gives you someone else to like play off of, and like maybe you're hearing their verse first before you're getting in there.
That was what happened with me and Vast. You know, Vast, like when I'm with rappers, like they don't really stop me during the session. Like, yo, can I rap my first whatever bars to you? I feel like that doesn't really happen. You know, I don't ask them if I can hear their shit, you know? Yeah. So I'll wait till they spit it, but he's like, yo, can I spit this? I'm like, fuck it. He spit it, and I wasn't even done with my verse, so I was like, fuck. You know, took a minute, and once he showed me that, he's like, I'm not done, but this is what I have. By the time he was done, I was done with my shit, and my shit was longer than his, you know? So I was like, I just gotta fucking, I don't know. It's almost like a good boost, you know, a good push. Makes me want to go harder. Yeah. And not even in a competitive sense, but like I like that whatever homie's rapping around me is around me, because, you know, play off. And I've done that shit where like you rap a couple bars and then they rap after you. I love that shit, you know. I just haven't done it with people like recently.
Yeah, because it's like impossible for you to bring that same energy out of yourself.
Yeah, it is.
Like you're probably not going to come up with the same thing if you're like writing on the spot with somebody else, or
exactly.
Yeah.
And I mean, writing to me, bro, like I sometimes don't write at all. Like I'll take like 3 months to write like 2 songs, you know.
Yeah.
And I used to give myself shit for that until I saw how, you know, like Q-Tip was saying, like, you know, sometimes it's good to not write at all, you know, like sometimes you just gotta chill. And I started giving myself like some time, you know. It was like I always gotta write, I always gotta do this, you know. I'm always working in kitchens, so like every time I'd be in the freezers, I'm like, I need to write something in here. You know, why the fuck am I not writing in the dry room, like shit like that, you know what I mean? Like, but now it's like if I'm feeling the beat and someone sent me it, whatever, it's getting 8. But you know, the environment, I guess. I used to write so much at work, and now I rather write while the homies cooking up beats, or while the homies are in the studio. That just to me is right away. It just dials in. You know what I mean?
Man. Sometimes you got to give yourself some space.
You do, bro. Exactly.
Well, this has been super fun, man. I'm glad we got to jump on the mics, and I'm glad that we're getting to know each other a little bit more. It's also like, it's really exciting to me to know that you're only 23. You're like very young in this still, but you've also been doing it for almost a decade, and that's inspiring and exciting. Like that makes me really excited to hear what you continue to put out, man.
Appreciate that, bro.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I'll put all the links in the episode notes so people can keep up with you.
Fuck yeah.
Locura.
Let's go. Locura out now.
That's the newest record.
Hell yeah.
Shout out to Cabana for being in the room, being a good presence in the room, and for cooking up good beats for you. You know, seems like that has been successful for a long time now.
Hell yeah.
Links will be in the episode notes. Definitely want to play the episode out with Ludacris 08.
Oh, hell yeah.
Another one of my favorite tracks
Hell yeah.
from the new record. And Dobleon, we end every episode with the guest saying the tagline for the show, which is "It's a program."
All right.
It means absolutely nothing. It's just the way my grandfather says the word program. He says program.
Okay.
So you can deliver it however you would like. It's the one time I'll ask you to look into the camera there.
Alrighty.
So if we can get the Dobleon, it's a program. We can properly sail this thing out.
Let's do this. It's a program.
He nailed it, everybody. That's Dobleon. So much music to check out if you're new to this dude. And like I said, links will be in the episode notes. We're playing it out with Ludacris 08.
Appreciate you, bro.
That's the Jelly Jams. And we will catch you on the flip side. Portland, Woodburn.
Let's go.
Wherever you're
De la
listening
selva.
from.
Fucking touchdown before shit got real.
Hell yeah, dude.
It's double below the guy.
I almost got lost.
One time for your mom. What? 'Cause I'm just with the homie off the ass shits. Mopping around the corner getting some mad flicks. That bitch, the way you find in my face. All I really wanna know is why she buying my tape. And the man's mad I did no such indeed. See, I smoke Dutch and weed so my guts can breathe. I need two things. One thing is for the king. She could be my honey. I don't really gotta think about the next bitch. Cause they know when they always lose. Mr. Like the booze, so while before the shoes. I got a few Bellacooters on my plate. I used to think that I was like Ludacris in a way. And I'm not, but I will be. Stand if you feel me. You ain't really proud, you just bound to go kill me. It's facts, and I ain't trying to hold it high. I'm just telling you, baby, I'm really thine. Soy el mero mero, pozolero, leo en el marisquero. A ver si quieres un pedo, te dejo con el dedo.